Okay, so we're going to start with some pranayama. So find a comfortable seat. And this is going to be a 3-part breath. So place one hand on your heart and one hand on your belly. And close your eyes. And what we're going to do is break up the inhale into 3 parts, and then we'll exhale in one smooth, long exhale. And as you breathe in, we're going to start low at the belly, and then we're going to fill up from bottom to top. And then we're going to exhale in the reverse, emptying top to bottom. But like I said, on the inhale, we're going to break it up a little bit. So if you'll inhale just 1/3 of the breath down into the belly, allowing the belly to inflate, and then take just a slight pause, and then inhale the second third of the breath into the low rib area, and then slight pause again before completing the inhale, filling up the chest. And having the hands here kind of helps to guide you. And you'll suspend the breath for just a brief moment again before exhaling in one long, slow exhale, emptying top to bottom. Okay, and you can just do this at your own pace, but again, just inhaling in those 3 parts, filling up bottom to top, slight pause between each part, and just finding a long, steady exhale. Notice if you're tensing up anywhere, and just try to relax as you continue with this 3-part breath. This is called Dirga Pranayama. And also try to constrict the back of the throat slightly so that it's a form of Ujjayi breath as well. So finish the round that you're on. And then with your next inhale, keep the eyes closed. Just release the back of the hands to your knees or your thighs. With palms face up. And just let your breath come back to a normal pace with no specific focus or effort. And then take a moment to set an intention for your practice. And I'll give you a couple of examples, but I really encourage you to choose something personal for you. So perhaps your intention could be simply to stay present through the class, to stay connected to the breath, maybe to practice patience or to let go of something. So the choices are endless. And again, I just encourage you to find something personal for you, something maybe you've been working on or need to work on. And let it be your drive as you move through practice this morning. And then with your next inhale, let your eyes softly open and bring your feet out in front of you on the mat with the knees bent. And take your hands to the knees. And then we're gonna lean back here. Tuck the chin. Lean back so far that your arms are extended. And maybe you feel a little pull through the back of the shoulders. And just tuck the chin and gently roll your head side to side. Just finding a stretch in the neck. And then when the chin comes back to the chest again, pause there. And on your next inhale, we're going to draw our heart forward, lift through the front of the body, the shoulders draw back and down, and we gaze up towards the sky. And then exhale, navel draws in, tuck the chin, round back, lean back to straighten the arms again, and we'll move with the breath. So inhale, draw the heart forward, find length in the front of the body. And exhale, bringing the length to the back of the body as you round. And just continue with your breath, keeping the feet grounded. Letting the movement begin when the breath begins, and the movement end when the breath ends, so that we're fully connected to the breath. With your next inhale, find that length, and then pause here. And we're going to bring the hands to the mat behind us. Take your feet mat width apart, and then just windshield wiper your knees side to side. Okay. And then coming to center, we're going to extend the legs. Okay, shake them out a little bit. And then bend your left knee and take your left foot to the outside of your right leg. And then really ground into that big toe mound on the left foot. And either stay here, or if you want to, you could bend the lower leg as well, bringing that right foot back by the left hip. And if you do that, just please make sure that you are still grounded through both sits bones, that your sides are able to lengthen equally. So if you feel like you're really leaning or it's uncomfortable at all, please extend the lower leg. Okay? And then we'll bring that left hand to the mat behind us, just propping up on the fingertips to find a nice tall spine here. Keep that left big toe mound grounded. Inhale, reach the right arm up towards the sky. And then as you exhale, draw the low belly in, start to twist to your left. Hug that left knee with the right arm and slowly turn your gaze towards the wall behind you. Make sure that you're not forcing the neck into the twist. Let it be comfortable in the neck. Take another breath in, pick up the left hip and scoot it back an inch or two. And each time you breathe in, think of creating space and expansion in the torso. And each time you breathe out, draw that navel towards the spine, maybe find a slightly deeper twist. Stay connected to the breath, stay connected to your intention. And with your next inhale, slowly release the twist. We're going to take that left foot back by the right hip, find your sits bones again, and you still may have your lower leg extended here. Okay? So one of those ways that we personalize our practice. Okay, trying to stack the knees, but most importantly, sits bones are grounded. All right, take your fingertips out on the floor in line with the hips. And then inhale, reach the right arm up towards the sky. As you exhale, crawl the left hand away, reach over to your left with that right arm. Keep the chest open and that top arm drawing back. And if it feels okay on the neck, you can gaze up towards the sky. Again, trying to keep both sits bones grounded and the chest open. Inhale, see if you can find a little more length on this left side body, so we're not completely collapsing on that side. And then inhale, we'll come back to center, release that right arm down. And on the next breath in, we reach the left arm up and exhale for a lateral stretch in the other direction. So this one, this top hip really tends to lift. So keep it down. Keep the shoulders drawing away from the ears and the heart turning upward. Again, maybe gazing up if that feels okay on the neck. Deep breath in, creating more length on both sides of the body. Exhale, navel draws in. Inhale, come back to center and release that hand down. Now bring the hands to the mat behind you. And we're going to extend the legs forward, but keep the left ankle crossed over the right. Okay? And then inhale, reach the arms up towards the sky. And as you exhale, hinge at the hips, keep reaching and lengthening as you fold out over the extended legs. And with the legs crossed here, it tends to get a little more into that IT band area. Okay, so just see where you feel this. Maybe let the forehead drop towards the legs. Hands can be wherever is comfortable. If you can't reach the feet, just let them rest on the floor or on your legs. Breathe into that low back. And then with your next breath in, reach out through the arms, rise up again. Exhale, draw the knees in, keep the ankles crossed, reach the hands forward for a modified boat pose. Take a deep breath in. Exhale, we're going to lower and open a little bit here. Inhale, back up. Exhale, lower down, getting into the core. Inhale, back up. Exhale, lower down. Inhale, back up. Pause here, bring your hands to the floor behind you, and then exhale, drop the knees to one side, keep the feet lifted. Inhale, back to center. Exhale, take the knees to the other side. So just finding a little twist here. Let's do this 3 times on each side. So last round. Keep that chest lifted. Don't round the back if you can help it. Okay. And then uncross the legs, extend them long again. Okay. And then we'll do all that on the other side. So bend the right knee. Take the right foot to the outside of the left leg. And then option, if you choose to, you can bend the lower leg as well. Okay, as long as you can ground both sits bones and lengthen equally through both side bodies, and there's no pain. Okay, otherwise keep the lower leg extended. All right, and then ground this right big toe. Take your right hand behind you just to prop yourself up. We're not twisting just yet. And then inhale, reach the left arm towards the sky. As you exhale, draw that navel in, start to twist your right, hug that left knee with your right arm. Breathe in, find a little lift through the heart again. Exhale, pick up that right hip, scoot it back an inch or so, and start to turn your gaze back towards the wall behind you, again without force. Okay, let it be easeful. Remember last week we talked about the A, B, C, D, and E's of yoga, finding that alignment, the breath, engaging the core, having a point of focus or drishti, and then always inviting that little bit of ease into the pose. Sukha and sthira, steadfastness and ease. With your next inhale, release the twist, come back to center. And then we're going to take that right foot back closer to the left hip, trying to stack the knees. And I kind of like to lift my hips a little bit to get in a little better position. You still can keep the lower leg extended. That's a perfectly excellent modification to this. Okay, try to keep the feet flexed. And again, sits bones pressing equally into the mat, lengthening equally through both side bodies. And then fingertips to the floor outside of the hips. Okay, on your inhale, we'll start with the right arm. Reach the right arm up towards the sky. As you exhale, we're going to fold over to the left. Keep that right sits bone down, shoulders drawing away from the ears, heart turning upwards. Breathe in to create more space and more length, especially on that left side body. Exhale for that deeper stretch. Inhale, return to center, and exhale, pause. Inhale, lift the left arm towards the sky. Exhale for the lateral stretch in the other direction. Breathe in, create more length, especially on that right side. Exhale, reaching over for a deeper stretch. And then inhale, center. Exhale, pause. Now, take your hands to the mat behind you. Extend the legs forward, but keep that right ankle crossed over the left. Okay. So now, as you breathe in, reach your arms up towards the sky. As you breathe out, hinge at the hips, keep reaching and lengthening as you slowly fold over the extended legs and then settle into this forward fold. Breathing into this back body, maybe the hamstrings, wherever you feel yourself tightening up, send your breath there. It's an excellent place to check in with the intention again, your focus for your practice. And then with your next inhale, reach forward again, ground the sits bones, rise up. Exhale, we'll take the hands to the mat, keep the ankles crossed, draw your knees in, okay? And maybe reach the hands forward. Take a deep breath in, lifting through the heart, shoulders drawing back. As you exhale, we're gonna open our boat, lower about halfway. Inhale, come back up. Exhale, extend and lower. Inhale, up. One more time. Good. Now take your hands to the floor behind you. Keep the ankles crossed and your heart lifted. As you exhale, take knees to one side. Don't let the feet touch the floor. Inhale back to center. Exhale, twisting to the other side. Inhale, center. Exhale, other side. I hope you guys can't hear how squeaky my floor is as I'm doing this. Okay, last time here on the right. And then coming back to center and releasing the feet and shaking out the legs. Okay, let's come to table. So we're gonna bring knees together this time and take your hands mat width apart, but in line with your shoulders. Okay, and then we're just gonna shift our hips over to the left. Try not to let the hips come forward. It's not a swivel. We're just moving out to the side. And then come back to center. And then take the hips over to the right. And again, try not to let there be a swivel. Inhale back to center. Exhale, take the hips over to the left again. And now we're going to start to take the hips back towards the heels and then to the right and forward. So we're starting to make these big circles at the hip. Exhaling as the hips come back towards the heels and inhaling as we come forward. This is a nice exercise for the pelvis, the SI, the hips, and then let's reverse the direction. And making our way back to center. Okay, now take the knees hip width apart, bring the hands in underneath the shoulders. Tuck the toes under, and on your exhale, we're gonna float the knees about an inch off the floor. So this is getting into the core. Make sure that the shoulder blades are wrapped onto the back, we're not locking the elbows. We're gonna do some cat-cows here. Okay, so as you exhale, the belly draws in, you tuck the chin. Inhale, lift the tailbone, lift your gaze. Much harder here with the knees floating. Definitely working the core. Good, now release the knees down, untuck the toes, bring the hips back to the heels, extend the arms forward. Forehead resting on the floor for an extended child's pose. Take a deep breath in here, and as you exhale, walk both hands way over to the left. Sit back into that right hip and crawl your right hand further away, finding that stretch in that right side of the torso. And then inhale, walk the hands forward, and exhale, take them way over to the right. Sit back into that left hip, crawl the left hand further away, looking for this long side body stretch in the left side. And then inhale, walk the hands forward again. Take the hands shoulder width apart, spread the fingers a lot. Inhale, curl up kind of through a cat pose, and then tuck the toes under and press back into a crouched heel dog. So shifting the hips side to side with the knees deeply bent, at least for the first few breaths. Okay. Work out any kinks in the low back and the hamstrings, and then as you're ready, you can start to come into your full expression of this pose. So again, it's personal. It's that place where you feel steady and at ease, right? So taking a moment to review again those key elements for every pose. So finding our alignment, that's the spreading of the fingers, the hands shoulder width apart, and the feet hip width apart. Tailbone lifting up and back. Take a deep breath in. As you exhale, engage the core, drawing that navel in, feeling that power in the pose. And then your focal point should be a spot on the mat just below your chest, okay? Or maybe a spot back between the toes. And then find some ease here. Notice if you're a little too rigid or you're tensing up, and just bring some softness there. And then with your next breath in, gaze forward. And as you exhale, we're going to walk towards the top of the mat. So coming into a standing forward fold, feet hip width apart. Let's take ragdoll arms. So hands to opposite elbow crease. Weight evenly distributed through the feet. And then maybe, if movement is calling, we sway a little side to side. Good, and then returning to center, release the hands, bend the knees a lot, and then inhale the arms up in front for our chair pose. Hands can come forward or hands on the hips if you're having any issues in the shoulders. okay? But make sure the knees don't come in front of the toes. Hips are going back, toes stay barely in front of the knees. Take a deep breath in. As you exhale, we're going to sweep the arms down and back, folding over the bent knees. Inhale, sweep the arms forward, press into the right foot, lift the left knee. Exhale, release the foot down, sweep the arms down and back. Inhale, sweep the arms forward, press into the left foot, lift the right knee. Exhale, release, sweep the arms down and back. Inhale, sweep the arms forward, press into the feet, slowly rise all the way to stand. And then open the arms, lift through the heart. Good, inhale, reach up. Exhale, hinge and fold forward. Now inhale to a half lift. Hands on the shins or maybe the thighs. Torso as parallel as you can get to the floor. Your head and neck are an extension of the spine. So your gaze is just down at your mat. Shoulder blades are drawing back towards the hips. Inner thighs are turning a little bit towards the wall behind you. Take a deep breath in here. As you exhale, maintain the length in the spine, hinge at the hips and fold forward. Good, now bend your knees, plant your hands, step your left leg back for a lunge. Come onto your fingertips here, or if you have blocks and you want to use them, that's a good place to bring blocks under the hands. Right knee should stack right over the ankle. We're pressing back through that left heel. Now squeeze the inner thighs together, draw that low belly in, lift your heart and draw the shoulders back. Nice and strong and stable in this lunge. Now take a deep breath in here. As you exhale, press into the front foot, start to straighten the front leg and bow forward. And then inhale to lunge. Lift your gaze. Exhale, straighten the front leg and bow forward. Inhale to lunge. So moving with the breath. One more time. And this time, as you straighten the leg, we're going to pause here. So you can walk the hands back a little bit if you'd like. Draw right hip back, left hip forward. Ground that right big toe mound into the mat. And then just curl in towards that front leg. Big hamstring stretch. Maybe you feel it in the hips. Maybe you feel it in that IT band area. Good, now inhale, come forward, bending that front knee again, and then drop the back knee. Untuck the toes. And then we're going to shift the hips back, straightening the front leg. This time we're going to flex the foot. And I kind of like to crawl my foot forward a little bit to keep this left, well, both hips back in line with that left knee. So flexing the foot, but this time keeping the heart drawing forward and the shoulders back. So we're not bowing forward and around it back. You can stay here or maybe play with swiveling the foot side to side. Again, this is a good way to get into those muscles around the IT band. And maybe if you find a spot that really feels like a good stretch, feel free to hang out there for a few moments. Make sure you're drawing this right hip back even as you move. Good. And then with your next inhale, we'll shift forward into our lunge again, tucking the back toes under and lifting that back knee. Okay. And then stepping the front foot back, finding downward facing dog. So again, fingers spread really wide, really root through the thumb and forefinger. It's going to help alleviate the strain in the wrists. Okay, we're lifting the tailbone up and back and having some kind of bend in the knees. Okay, so the intention of down dog is to stretch the spine, although sometimes we really feel it in the hamstrings. So if you're feeling it more in the hamstrings and you think your back is rounding a little bit, bend the knees more. Press your heart back towards your thighs. And then on your next breath in, we're going to curl forward to plank. So we're going to pause here with the shoulders stacked over the wrists. Feet are hip width apart. Think of dropping the hips, but then lifting the inner thighs and lengthening from heels to the crown of the head. Don't lock the elbows. Let there be a little micro bend here. Shoulder blades wrapping onto the back. Take a deep breath in. As you exhale, drop both heels to one side, just twisting through the lower body. Inhale back to center. Exhale, drop both heels to the other side. And inhale to center. Now exhale, we're going to lower down. You can do knees, chest, chin, or chaturanga, but both modifications, the elbows are hugging in, and then untuck the toes, draw your heart forward. Find cobra. Shoulders back, heart drawing forward, tops of the feet pressing into the floor. Good, and then inhale. You can press up through table to down dog or through plank to down dog. Take a couple breaths here. And then gaze forward. And on your next exhale, step or walk to the top of your mat. Hinge at the hips. Folding forward, Uttanasana. This time, let's bend the knees and interlace the hands behind the back. So inviting a stretch into the shoulders by lifting the hands away from the body, tucking the chin. And then squeeze the shoulder blades together as you lift the shoulders away from the ears. And then release the hands. Bend the knees a lot. Again, reach the arms up in front. So just like we did before. Okay, hips are going back. We're sitting nice and low. Take a deep breath in. Exhale, sweep both arms down and back, folding over the bent legs. Inhale, reach the arms forward, pressing your left foot. Start to lift the right knee. Exhale, release the foot down, sweep the arms down and back. Inhale, sweep the arms forward, press into the right foot, lift the left knee. And exhale, release, sweep the arms down and back. Inhale, sweep the arms forward, slowly press into the feet. Rise all the way up to stand, and then open your arms wide, lift through your heart. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, hinge at the hips and fold forward. Inhale for half lift. Exhale, fold. Bend the knees, plant the hands, this time stepping your right leg back for a lunge. Left knee stacks over the ankle, press back through that right heel, squeeze the inner thighs, come onto your fingertips, lift through the heart. Take a deep breath in. Exhale, engage your core, draw that navel in. Your focal point is somewhere on the floor in front of you or your intention. Okay? And then find a little ease here. There's a lot of instruction. Sometimes we get caught up in the strength and the steadiness of the pose. Make sure to invite the sukha in. Okay, take one more big breath in. Exhale, press into the front foot. Start to straighten the front leg and bow forward. Inhale, back to the lunge. Exhale, bow forward. Inhale to lunge. Couple more with your breath. The next time you straighten that front leg, we'll pause. Maybe walking the hands back. You can have hands on blocks if they're available. Okay. Draw left hip back, right hip forward. Bring the forehead towards that front shin. Ground that left big toe mound. Use the breath to soften any places that are being resistant to the stretch. And then with your next inhale, bend the front knee again, finding that lunge, and then dropping the back knee. Untuck the toes. Shift the hips back to stack over the right knee. Maybe walking the left foot forward and the hands back a little bit, and then flexing that left foot. Draw left hip back, right hip forward to keep the alignment and to deepen the stretch. And then maybe play around a little bit, swiveling the foot side to side, maybe breathing into a slightly different variation of this according to your body's needs. And then on your next breath in, we're going to come forward into that lunge again, tucking back toes under, lifting the back knee, and then stepping back to downward facing dog. Grounding the hands into the mat, lifting the tailbone. And then inhale, curl forward to plank. Stack the shoulders over the wrists. Engage the inner thighs. Think of squeezing the sits bones towards one another and shoulder blades back towards the hips. Take a deep breath in. As you exhale, lower down. Again, you can do knees, chest, chin, or chaturanga. If you're doing chaturanga, shift forward a little bit. Bend the elbows straight back. Inhale, draw the heart forward for cobra or up dog. And then exhale, making your way to downward facing dog. Pausing here for a couple of breaths. And then inhale, gaze forward. And on your exhale, walk, step, or even gently hop to the top of your mat for forward fold. All right, bend your knees. We're going to start to switch this up a little bit, starting a little similar with that kind of chair flow. So hips draw back and down, arms reach forward in our chair pose. Take a deep breath in. As you exhale, sweep the arms down and back. Inhale, sweep the arms forward, press into the right foot, lift the left knee. As you exhale, sweep the arms and that left leg back behind you. As you exhale, bend the standing leg, gently place that left foot on the floor, and inhale, reach the arms towards the sky. So we're in warrior one. Right angle in the front knee, low ribs are squeezing in, tailbone drawing down. Back foot is flat on the floor, toes are at a slight angle. So our hips are turning forward, but don't get attached to the idea that they're totally forward, because that can tweak something in the knee or the ankle. Now inhale, open to warrior two. Take a moment here to find your alignment. Maybe take a wider stance between the feet. Front knee is deeply bent. We're rooting into the outer edge of that back foot. Again, draw the pelvic bone towards the belly button and tailbone down. So there's this little tilt, okay? And then arms are extended out from the shoulders, but there's a little softness, a little ease. Gazing out over the front fingertips. Feeling strong and stable through the lower body and a little light and soft through the upper body. Now inhale to a reverse warrior. So right arm reaches up and back. We find the right ribs lifting away from the right hip. And then exhale, right elbow to right knee. Left arm sweeps up and over for extended side angle. Keep that deep bend in the front knee. Keep the outer left foot grounded. Inhale, turn your heart a little more towards the sky. With your next inhale, We're gonna come up and back, straighten the front leg, find reverse triangle. So we've got this long line from the right toes up the right side body and out through the fingertips. Now take a deep breath in. As you exhale, let the right ribs lead the way as you reach forward and then swivel the arms for Trikonasana or triangle. So you can use a block here if you have it, or paper towels or a wastebasket, or you can just bring your hand to your right shin. Just make sure you're not putting any pressure on the knee. Both legs are straight, but nothing's locked. Shoulders draw away from the ears. Take a deep belly breath in, and as you exhale, navel draws in and the heart and the ribs turn a little more towards the sky. Now, a lot of times when I say that, I just see people reach back with that upper arm, but it's the arms stay stacked. It's just the heart that turns up. If there's strain in your neck, take your gaze down towards the floor, or maybe straight ahead. Stay rooted in the outer edge of that back foot. Take one more deep breath in. As you exhale, start to bend the front knee. Take that left hand to the floor as you lift the back heel. Now inhale, sweep right arm towards the sky for a twist. Right knee's hugging into midline. And then exhale, bring that right hand down. Okay, now from here, we're gonna step into the front foot, start to lift the back leg for a standing split. Toes pointing straight down. Take a deep breath in. Exhale, release that left leg behind the right. Bring the pinky toes to touch or come close. And then just bow forward. So working into the IT band area again, hopefully in this pose. If you feel stable, interlace the hands behind the back, maybe interlace the fingers the wrong way, not the wrong way, the odd way, is what I meant to say. It's not wrong, it's quite right, actually. And then lift the hands away from the body, tuck the chin, micro bend in the knees. And then inhale, release the arms, uncross the legs, and come into a forward fold. Pause here in your forward fold for a couple of breaths. And then bend the knees a lot. Inhale the arms up in front. So same thing, other side, okay? Take a deep breath in here. Exhale, sweep the arms down and back, folding over the bent knees. Inhale, sweep them forward, press into the left foot, lift the right leg. As you exhale, we're gonna sweep right leg behind, both arms behind. So just coming briefly through a warrior three and then bending the standing leg and gently placing that right foot on the floor behind you. And inhale, reach the arms up towards the sky. So again, squeeze the low ribs together, tailbone down. Arms reaching up, the shoulders draw down away from the ears. Just taking our moment here in our warrior one. And then inhale, exhale, open to warrior two. Okay, so again, adjusting your stance. Keep that front knee stacked over the ankle. Root through the outer edge of that back foot. Hips are open. Draw that front knee towards the pinky toe side of the foot. And then tailbone down as the pubic bone draws towards navel. Arms are extended, shoulders stacked over the hips. So tendency here a lot of times is kind of lunge forward. So reach towards the back wall with that right hand a little bit. Feel the stability, the sthira, and then invite some sukha, some ease. On your next inhale, we'll come into reverse warrior. So left arm sweeps up and back. Keep that front knee deeply bent. Feel the left ribs lifting away from the left hip. Exhale to extended side angle. So left elbow to the knee. Right arm sweeps up
and overhead. Keep that front knee drawing more towards the pinky towards side of the foot. Take a deep belly breath in. As you exhale, turn the heart more towards the sky and draw the shoulders away from your ears. And then inhale, press into the front foot, straighten the front leg, reach the left arm up and back for reverse triangle. Take a deep breath in. Exhale, let the left ribs lead the way as you reach forward, and then rotate the arms for triangle, Trikonasana. And again, if you have a prop you can use, you might like to bring that left hand on that prop. Shoulders draw away from your ears. Root through the outer edge of the back foot. Turn your heart towards the sky. Shoulders away from the ears. Navel drawing in. Engaging the core. Keeping your focus on your intention the whole time. Take one more big breath in. As you exhale, bend the front knee as you start to bring the right hand to the mat, lifting that back heel, and then reaching the left arm towards the sky for a twist. And then exhale, left hand comes down. We're going to step into that front foot, lift the back leg for a standing split, and then release that right leg behind the left. Bring the pinky toes to touch as best you can. Slight bend in the knees, tuck the chin. Again, if you feel stable, you could interlace the hands behind the back. Maybe lifting the hands away from the body. Bringing forehead towards knees. Maintaining the breath. And then release the hands, release the crossing of the feet. Take a moment or two in your forward fold. Then inhale to a half lift. Bringing the torso parallel to the floor, finding length in the spine. Exhale, fold. Bend the knees, plant the hands. Let's step back to plank. Pause here. Shoulders stacked over the wrists, pressing back through the heels, squeezing the sits bones and reaching the crown of the head forward. Take a deep breath in. As you exhale, you can either drop the right knee or just roll onto the outer edges of the feet. The outer edge of the right foot, inner edge of the left foot, and then reach left arm towards the sky. Okay, so modifications on the knee. Arms are stacked. Breathe in, lift that left side body towards the sky. And then exhale, return to plank. Pause here, breathe in. As you exhale, we'll switch sides. So left knee to the floor. Inhale the right arm towards the sky, or you can come into the full Vashisthasana if you'd like. Inhale to lift right side body towards the sky. Exhale to return to plank. Pause here as you breathe in. Exhale, lower down. Inhale to cobra or up dog. Exhale to child's pose. Knees wide, hips to heels. And then you decide, you can walk the hands forward or you can bring the hands back by your feet. Forehead rests on the floor, and we breathe into the low back. If you ever feel a little heated or the breath is really labored, try exhaling through the mouth. Still always inhaling through the nose if you can. With your next inhale, bring the hands to the mat by your knees. Push your torso upright, and we're gonna come to seated. So bring the feet out in front of you. We're gonna go ahead and lay back. So come onto your back, hug your knees into your chest, and rock side to side. And now release the feet to the mat, feet hip width apart. Then cactus your arms and windshield wiper the knees side to side. And then the next time the knees come to the left, go ahead and stay there. If you want to deepen the stretch, you could rest your left ankle on top of the right knee and then think of driving that right knee away from the body. This invites the stretch, for me, a little more into the outer right hip and maybe again along that IT band on the right leg. You might feel it somewhere different. Okay, so just notice what you experience in each pose. And it's not to judge or to overanalyze. It's just a practice of getting to know ourselves and our bodies. Having that mind-body connection. And then inhale, come back to center, planting the feet mat width apart again, and then dropping the knees to the right and resting here. And again, if you want to, you can bring your right ankle on top of the left knee and then drive that left knee away from the body. Notice where you feel the stretch. Use your breath to bring ease into the places that resist. With your next inhale, come back to center. Extend the legs out long and reach the arms overhead. And then you're gonna grab opposite elbow. And you stay laying down, I'm just sitting up so you can see me a little better. So you're gonna try to grab opposite elbow. If that's not accessible, you can grab opposite wrist, okay? And then you're gonna take your upper body to the right and both feet to the right. Keep both shoulders grounded and both hips grounded. So you're in this banana shape. This is called Banana Asana. And then if you want to, you could cross your left ankle over the right. Both legs are straight, both hips are grounded. So really trying to ground that left hip and the shoulders stay grounded. I know it's hard to see, so hopefully my words are enough to guide you. And then focus your breathing along the left side body, breathing into those left ribs to find a deeper stretch. And then inhale, come through center. Switch the position of the arms, bringing the other arm on top. And then we'll take the upper body as far over to the left as possible, both feet over to the left, keeping both hips and both shoulders grounded. And then option to cross right ankle over left. And then focus the breath in that right side body, right ribs.
And on your next breath in, come back to center. And slowly bring the knees in towards your chest, giving yourself a tight squeeze, rocking a little side to side. And then as you exhale, lift your head up towards your knees, curling into a little ball. And then inhale, release, and stretch out for Shavasana. So take up some space on your mat, turn your palms up, roll the shoulder blades underneath the back. Maybe wiggle the hips for a moment. And then just settle in nice and heavy on your mat, letting go of all effort, embracing Sukha at its finest, that ease. Keep your focus on your breath without changing it in any way, just being a witness to the breath. Feeling the sensation of the breath and the prana as it flows in and out of the body. Completely relaxing the face and the jaws, the hands and the feet. As if floating. Start to bring small movements back into your body, deepening the breath again. Wiggling fingers and toes, hands and feet. Reaching the arms out overhead, lengthening through one side of the body and then the other, and then both. And then draw the knees in one more time, giving yourself a big squeeze before rolling to one side in the fetal position. Taking a few final moments on your side. And then keeping your eyes closed, slowly make your way back to seated. We'll meet with hands at heart center in Anjali Mudra.
Melissa, can you hear me? Oh, never mind.
Yes.
I can't hear you.
Can everyone else hear me?
Yes, I can hear you.
I lost audio a while ago.
Okay, okay. So let's all Om together, okay? Let me unmute you all first so that we can have a collective Om if possible. Let's all take a deep breath in together. Thank you all so much for being here this morning, for practicing with me, sharing your energy. I hope you have a wonderful weekend. Namaste. And before you all leave, I just have a quick question. Since a lot of you are regulars here, I was curious if I were to do some strap work next week. Do you all have something, a strap or a tie or a belt or even a towel or something? Does everybody have something you could use at home? Cindy, do you have, where's my strap?
A robe belt that would work.
Yeah, a belt or something for next week.
The robe from your robe.
Yeah, a belt from your robe would be
I
good.
can't hear anything.
Okay, so I might try to incorporate some strap work next week. So try to remember to have that with you.
Since
Okay.
Cindy,
No.
since Cindy can't hear, maybe email everybody?
Yep, I will. I will.
Sounds like it's something with her computer.
Yeah. Okay, you guys, have a good weekend.
Thanks,
Thank you.
Lauren. Thanks.